to imagine the debate this fall. The president was right the other day. He's so nervous about gasoline prices and energy that he's done 2 major speeches. And I thought today, in one of the most shallow and self-serving comments by a president that I've heard in a long time, he was candid in his press conference. He said, you know, I'm really worried about higher gas prices because it will make it harder for me to get reelected. I did not make this up. It was just nice to know that the president, once again, has managed to take the pain of the American people and turn it into his own personal problem. Now, the fact is, I'd love to debate this president because when you read these speeches, they are so deliciously incoherent. They are the perfect case study of liberalism run amok. The president says the Republicans have 3 strategies. Strategy number 1 is drilling.
Yes.
Strategy number 2 is drilling.
Yes.
Strategy number 3 is drilling.
Yes.
And I want to say to him, Mr. President, this is one of the rare occasions when I can say you are right. But the president had an alternative to drilling, and this is why debating him would be just one of those moments where you could almost sell tickets for charity. The president said, we have to be practical. Drilling won't solve it. And then he offered his practical solution. Anybody here remember what it was? Algae. I mean, I think this summer, as gas prices keep going up, one of our campaign techniques should be have people go to gas stations with a jar of algae and say to people, would you rather have the Gingrich solution of drilling and having more oil, or would you like to try to put this in your gas tank? I mean, you can't, I'm amazed that Saturday Night Live hasn't taken that speech and turned it into a skit. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But what made it really intellectually totally incoherent was the president, literally 2 pages after he explains that drilling doesn't work, the president explains that we've had this great breakthrough in natural gas. That we now have, thanks to new technology, over 100 years' supply of natural gas. That, in fact, we're going to create 600,000 new jobs the next decade out of natural gas. And I'm still waiting for one of the reporters at the White House to come out of their comatose re-elect Obama stance and ask the following question. How does the president think we discovered the natural gas? Because, of course, the answer is... Right? Yeah. I came up with a specific proposal to make vivid that there could be a better future in practical terms. So I proposed $2.50 a gallon as our goal. Now, I have to say, my daughter Jackie was off campaigning with Herman Cain. And after 2 days of campaigning with Herman, she came back to me and she said, you know, maybe we should change that. Maybe it should be 2.4999. And to his credit, Herman said, no, that will not work as a marketing device. Stick with 250, which he's very good at. So I picked $2.50, and I actually picked it by asking the oil experts, what's a price at which you would have continuous exploration? Because my goal is to have energy independence so we are free of the Middle East. Yeah. Yeah. When the Iranians practice closing the Straits of Hormuz, through which 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil in the world flow, the short-term answer is the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Air Force, and the ultimatum that closing the Straits would be an act of war and their government would cease to exist. But the long-term solution is to create American energy independence, so we could say to China, India, and Europe, you have a problem in the Straits of Hormuz. We hope you can solve it, but we're not in charge of it. Now, the fact is that 250 is attainable. Governor Romney came to town the other day and said I was pandering by picking it up. And I just want to explain to the governor, no, this is called leading. Leaders create large goals. Leaders create a vision of a better future. Leaders arouse the American people to go out and do great things. Leaders believe the American people could easily achieve energy independence if the government got out of the way. So if your friends ask you why we are emphasizing $2.50 and is it practical, first of all, you can tell them to go to newt.org. We have there an entire 30-minute speech which outlines why it is doable and it's practical. I wrote a book called Drill Here, Drill Now, Pay Less back in 2008. Callista and I did a movie called We Have the Power. I mean, this is clearly doable. But in addition, point out three numbers to that. The price of gasoline when I was Speaker was $1.13. The price of gasoline when Barack Obama became president was $1.89. All of this gigantic increase came from his policies. Finally, if you remember the natural gas story the president's so proud of, we have now developed so much natural gas that supply is outrunning demand, and the price has fallen from $7.97 to around $2.86. Now translate that as a percentage decline, and this is, by the way, with an 11% increase in production. They haven't doubled it, they haven't gotten even to 25% yet, but an 11% increase in production suddenly changed the whole equation of supply and demand. Now, if you had the same experience with oil, you would end up at $1.13, what it was when I was Speaker. So 250 is a long way from a radical number. 250 is a practical, cautious, doable number. And my goal over the next few weeks is to drive home to every American. We don't have to be trapped in a Department of Anti-Energy. We don't have to be trapped with an EPA which destroys jobs. We don't have to be trapped with a president who refuses to build the Keystone Pipeline, refuses to reopen the Gulf, refuses to develop Alaska. With your help, we're going to get enough people to come to newt.org and sign up. We have 173,000 donors already. 95% of them give less than $250. We have a place we can actually come in and give 1 Newt gallon. That's $2.50. If you get excited, you can give 10 Newt gallons. That's $25. With your help, we're going to go on to Tampa and win the nomination. Good luck and God bless you.